Alright folks, the SDP-60 Gonkiewicza Tier 9 Polish normal tank destroyer looks like a large SU-122-44 with a very big mantlet and a large caliber gun, even though inner diameter or the caliber should be 85mm. So kinda weird, not realistic, but there are protrusion for 𝗚cie compartment on top of the superstructure. That is for the gunner, that is for the commander, so more weak spots compared to the Tier 10, the NC-70, but yeah, that is weak spots right there. That is the loader in the back, the gunner right here, and the driver in the front of the commander. Looks like the STI or IS-4 type of sloping for the driver thing, but alright. So a little bit longer than a medium tank chassis, 6 pairs of road wheels compared to usually 5 on the T-54s, but large caliber gun even outside of the superstructure, so a little bit more protruded outside, but it's only 5 degrees to the sides like with the Tier 10 or Tier 7s, so it's aggressive, it's in your face, face hugging while dealing massive amounts of damage with large DPM, but it's not that comfortable to snipe with, even though shell velocity is pretty good. Shell velocity is quick, though the damage drop off is kind of massive. You deal 800 alpha at 50 meters, and it drops off to 300 alpha at 500 meters. So DPM gets dramatically cut if you're trying to snipe, but 𝗚cie on top. It's not a bad looking vehicle, but more weak spots than the Tier 10, obviously. Obviously, compared to Tier 7, it has more weak spots too. The SDP-57. But, nah, not a bad looking vehicle. We have one that looks like the SU-122-44. The Tier 10 looks like the SU-122-54, but hey. Why are there 3 ass shots of the same angle? Alright, fine, whatever. So take a look at the main stats. The same gun practically as the Tier 10. So damage drop off from 800 alpha to 550 to 300. So DPM gets dramatically cut, but 290mm of pen, which is not bad for APCR. Gold APCR is even faster. So shell velocity is very quick with a little bit more penetration. High explosive is constant, but only 85mm of penetration. Takes 15 seconds to reload without the 100% crew. Aim time is actually not half bad. It's a 175mm gun. So 2.7 is actually not half bad. 0.38 accuracy, also not half bad. 7 degrees of gun suppression, pretty decent, but 5 degrees per side. So iconic of the line, I guess. Garbage traverse to the sides. You're not sniping. And 60 rounds. That's a lot of ammo too. But then again, it's an 85mm round, technically. The inner diameter is only 85, so alright. Top speed of 42. A little bit slower than the Tier 10, but still workable. And 15.6 horsepower per ton ratio. Fine. 30 degrees per second. So it's aggressive. It is aggressive like a Object 263 at Tier 9 practically, but 1800 health. And 190mm slope armor with a large mantlet in the front. We have to see the actual armor, but view range is still kinda 360 meters and radio is standard. But this thing is a tech tree tank destroyer, which means there's a stock gun and a stock grind. You get the armor stays the same, there's no upgrade. But the gun is a little bit different. It's not a sniping gun, but you'll see. It's actually more consistent in terms of alpha damage. It's a versatile, it's not assault tank destroyer, surprisingly. So same crew loadout as the Tier 10 as the Tier 7, 4-man crew. But stock gun has obviously less penetration, but 700 alpha and still decent shell velocity, but gold shell, yeah, a little bit more pen, still APCR as standard, and gold alpha for high explosives the same. Shell velocity for the high explosive is dramatically slower than the APCR round, well, logically speaking, but then again, it uses the same rifling of the star-shaped barrel thing, so technically, I don't know, whatever. Stock gun is a 163mm, but inner diameter should be 100mm. I have to see the actual caliber, but the top gun is the same as the Tier 10, the NC-70. But damage is actually more consistent, so it has a smaller range from 700 alpha to 350 compared to 800 to 300. So technically, it's more consistent with the RNG for the smaller caliber. Well, technically it's a bigger caliber. It's a 100mm compared to 85, but outer diameter of the gun is smaller than the larger gun, supposedly, but it weighs the same. So longer barrel, technically. Alright, fine. Reloads at 14 seconds. DPM is still 3000 at close range. Accuracy, 0.4. Not the worst, but 4 seconds of aim time compared to 2.7. Yeah, stock gun takes forever to aim. It's a close range aggro gun. It's a face hugging gun. You are being very aggressive with this gun. The research path is not that convoluted. It's basic, right? Research a gun, research a radio. The radio is actually shared on the medium tank at Tier 9. The engine is not shared, alright, unfortunately. And the track is obviously the tracks, but yeah, very basic. You have to research the gun to progress to the Tier 10, as usual. That is a different gun, right? That looks like a 100mm or something, with a different muzzle brake. So, not included with the actual vehicle, but okay. That's not the stock gun. The stock gun is this gun with the square shape barrel design. So, weird impact tool looking thing. Just missing it. Actually, it has the X shape screwdriver of a design. Alright, fine, whatever. But yeah, not that muzzle brake. Alright. So main stats, stock gun compared to the upgraded 175, 162. Alright. But yeah, a little bit more penetration, obviously. More alpha. DPM gets boosted from 3100 to 3300. But yeah, aim time on the base gun, on the stock gun, is 3.87 seconds with a 100% crew. It shifts more than a second down with a larger caliber, technically. It's very aggressive with a stock gun. Very aggressive. You're not aiming. Even though shell velocity is good, it takes you about 4 seconds to aim unless you have a enhanced gun lane drive, which you shouldn't technically on a tank destroyer, but God. 190mm of frontal hull armor, 75 the sides. You have weak spots, but that is still sloped. That is like an E100 upper plate, so roughly about 270 to 300mm effective, depending on the angle, but we have to see. Still weighs pretty hefty, about 46.5 tons. Big chunky boy. Horsepower per ton ratio stock-wise is only 14 compared to 15.55, but I think it's still workable. It's like a pseudo-fast heavy tank. Pseudo. It's the fastest is like 17 or 20, but Camo, not half bad. 17.6. That's actually decent. Moving camo, View range, Oh God, this thing is weird to judge. It's so weird. I mean, it plays like the Object 263, right? Like this thing. But I have camo net. It's an open top. I have camo nets. Oh. I should put a turbocharger on this thing. Well, it is not assault. It is versatile with support on the sides. That is reminiscent of stuff like the Kampfpanzer 07HK. So that support right there, that is protrusion on the side of the superstructure, which is like this vehicle in terms of hull downness. You see that machine gun mount on the sides defeats the purpose of the slope armor, but you have to wiggle about with this thing. So yep, there are weak spots on this vehicle compared to the Tier 10. Yeah, that is the weak spot. Well, technically shoot the commander hatch on top, or just shoot it with a large caliber gun with high explosive in the tank, you'll pin. But It is versatile. And let's see, versatile. It's like close to this thing, right? Its mantlet is even bigger than. Whoa, that is a big mantlet too. It's box shape. It should be like something like this, right? With armor. Should be. This thing has about 20 horsepower per ton ratio though. You want rammer on this thing, obviously, but it's not sniper. Do you want turbocharger on this thing? What the hell did I put on the K91? I didn't even put a turbocharger on this. I put freaking vents. Vents might be a good idea too to help out with the accuracy and the aim time, but you could put turbocharger. So rammer is obviously a must for the firepower slot. You could put optics as a third slot, make the view range a little bit better. Baseline view range should be about 370 or so, right? Let's see how much this. Let's see vehicle details. That's my vehicle detail. Let's just jump to the freaking tanks.gg. Tier 9 by stats. So view range, we'll see. View range for tank destroyers. The highest 390. Okay, that's pretty good. 380, about average. 370. And 360 is on the bottom end, close to the object 263 or 704. So yeah, or they nerfed the Doom Turtle. So view range is on the bottom end or bottom of the barrel, but you are aggressive. You are aggressive with this vehicle. Rammer is obviously a must. You could put turbocharger and slot out the field mods for speed with a turbocharger. I think turbocharger might be a little bit better on this thing. You can also put optics or vents for the third slot, but field mods for versatile tank destroyers. First one's no gimmick or no. Choose the first one. It's not a question. Better hull traverse and effective terrain resistance. Yeah, so choose this one. Accuracy or aim time. Ooh, it's a large caliber gun, and the base aim time is utter garbage. But it actually unlocks the top gun before you do the field mods. Yeah, so you have the top gun. You have the better aim time. What the hell am I talking about? Aim time's fine in my opinion. Well, then again, if you're aggressive though, you don't need the aim time. You're sticking your gun into other people's faces. So unless you're sniping, which you shouldn't do, you shouldn't need that aim time, right? Yeah, better accuracy. I would say better accuracy. You don't need the aim time. You're already face hugging at people. You don't need the aim time. You're not sniping. Give it better accuracy. Oh, view range or concealment or camo after firing. Camo after firing is already garbage. It's 2 point something. You're being spotted if you fire. But then again, you're already being spotted when you're being aggressive. So you don't need that. Better view range. Support your garbage 360 meters of view range. And finally, concealment or reverse speed. That is a good one. 5% is a big deal for tank destroyers. That is like 15% to 20. That is crazy. But 2 kilometers per hour backwards is also not bad when you're being aggressive. But then again, concealment works like all the time. It works when moving too. It doesn't work with just stationary. It works with moving. So that helps you get into position better, right? Better concealment. Reverse, if you have teammates, you don't need to go backwards that much. And then again, reverse speed on this thing is not half bad. 15 is alright. Just cuts down to 13. That's alright. You don't need reverse speed. Go with better camo, right? 5% more is 22%. 22.6%, which is, and 15.5% while moving. That is not bad. So I would say better camo while moving. But it's a versatile. It's not a assault. Assault has different field mods. Let's take a look at the object 263. That is assault for the final slot. The first three is all the same, but real time or hit points. Oh man. Crew protection and hit points. Hit points is nothing. So yeah, reload time. It's a toss up. This one's a personal feeling of whichever one feels comfortable to you. So yeah, assault is a little bit different than versatile, but how much would I rate it? right? It's different than the Tier 10. Tier 10 might not have weak spots other than the rangefinder on top of the superstructure, but this thing has a very big mantlet compared to the Tier 10 though. Yeah, a lot bigger mantlet for the gun. That's a better shot. So this is the Tier 10, we already covered it. Mantlet is much smaller, but the cupola is not protruded on the side of the superstructure. And also the rangefinder might be weak spots, but then again, who the hell knows? So might be like the TS-54 or the counterparts in a sense, but might be weak spots. So this thing, how much would I rate it? The gun angles are still crap, but then again, that's applying to all the vehicles. 5 degrees per side, so it's not comfortable to snipe with. You're not supposed to snipe with this thing. It's aggressive, but you have weak spots on top of the superstructure. So, I don't know. Maybe at like 200 meters and you wiggle about, right? But then again, that still cuts the alpha down from 800 to 550. But then again, it's about 13 seconds of reload for a 550 alpha, which is still not half bad. It's like a 130mm, right? But I don't know. You are being aggressive. It's a one-trick pony of a play style. You're not sniping. You could snipe, but it's not beneficial. Technically, the DPM drop off to like 1,500 or something. No, it's even worse. 1,300 or something. So more than 50%. But yeah, holy crap. I don't know. This line is remaining to be proven, but it's certainly different than the usual tank destroyers you play at Tier 9. So, but then again, you could be aggressive. You already have aggressive vehicles like this, right? Let's see, assault tank destroyers. Counterparts is slow, somewhat slow. It's more like a heavy tank. It's a little bit slow. This thing is slow. This thing is slow. This is more like a versatile sniper. I usually play this thing at the mid-distance range rather than face-hugging because the whole armor is garbage. Superstructure is alright, but yeah, this thing is a mid-line support slash sniper slash versatile. So it's not really aggressive like this thing. This thing is aggressive, but versatile. Yeah, this is a heavy tank. This is a sniper. This is a pseudo sniper. This is a support. This thing is more like assault, in my opinion. But yeah, this thing is more like it. Same goes with this thing, but you could snipe with it. But I don't know how they categorize these vehicles. This thing is more like a, I will still say decent if you know how to play aggressive vehicles correctly. But 6 still feels like a 6, right? The stock grind might be a problem. Might, but still better than some vehicles. The gun will still perform for a stock gun. It has the penetration. 270 is still fine, even though the aim time is utter crap. So stock grind on this vehicle, it shouldn't be that bad, right? Stock radio shouldn't be that bad too. You don't need to upgrade the radio. Let's see, 𝗚123P. Is that share on the? That is share on the medium tank, they said, or should be. Let's see, Polish medium tank. Yeah, the stock radio. Stock radio is fine. You don't even need to upgrade the radio. The 𝗚123P weighs the same, so you don't need to research the radio, even though it costs only 9,000 XP. But you don't need to research the radio, technically. Only for 20 more meters. No, you don't need to research the radio. Radio did not need it. But the engine is not shared. SGT 30CM2. Yeah, engine is technically not shared. So even though it sounds almost the same as this engine, it has 20 more horsepower. Yeah, you don't need to research the radio. Radio's out. So definitely research the gun, I think. You get more variableness with the alpha since the range increase and decrease, but you get better penetration and a lot faster aim time. Research your gun first. It's a 6. Remains to be proven, and we have to see the actual armor, but I still feel it's fine. And based on the map rotation, there's not that many sniping position, right? You're being aggressive all the time, mostly. Unless it's like Błyskawica or something, but you're still being pretty aggressive. And the gun angles are still crap. So yeah, you're being a very aggressive tank destroyer with this thing. But lower plate might be a weak spot. The cupolas possibly a definite weak spots, but 6 out of 10. Well, there we go, folks. The SDP-60 Gonkiewicza. So as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
雨はいつか止むのでしょう